The world has gone quiet. Shadows stretch across the walls. Let your thoughts grow soft. A story waits in the stillness. If it brings you peace, like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a night. Now, let the story find you. You step. Off the train, the platform bathed in the soft glow of twilight. The air in this small Japanese village carries a hint of cedar and something older, like secrets whispered by the wind. Your sandals, worn and fraying, slap against the stone path as you make your way toward the inn. You've come here seeking rest, a break from the city's hum, drawn by stories of a place where time feels slower, where the past lingers in the eaves of old houses. The inn is a low wooden building, its tiled roof curling like a wave frozen in time. Lanterns sway gently, casting warm light across the porch. A woman greets you at the door, her kimono a deep indigo, her smile polite but distant. Her name is Hannah, she says, and she leads you inside. The floorboards creak under your weight, and you notice one of your Zori sandals has split, the strap dangling uselessly. You laugh it off, embarrassed, but Hannah's eyes linger on the broken sandal, her expression unreadable. She shows you to your room, a simple space with tatami mats and a low table. A single futon waits in the corner, and sliding doors open to a garden where fireflies drift like tiny lanterns. You thank her, but as she leaves, she pauses. Be careful where you walk at night, she says softly. The spirits here, they notice broken things. You nod, thinking it's just local superstition, charming in its own way. But her words cling to you, heavy as the humid air. That night you lie on the futon, the silence of the village wrapping around you. The fireflies outside pulse faintly, their light seeping through the paper screens. You think about the broken Zori left by the door. It's nothing, you tell yourself, just a sandal. But as you drift toward sleep, you hear it, a soft shuffle, like footsteps on the tatami. Your eyes snap open, but the room is empty. The sound stops, replaced by a faint hum, like a voice too distant to understand. You pull the blanket closer, your heart beating just a little faster. Morning comes, and the unease fades with the sunlight. You explore the village, wandering past rice paddies and shrines tucked beneath ancient cedars. At a small stall, an old man sells handmade Zori, their woven straps dyed in bright patterns. You buy a new pair, hoping to replace the broken one, but the old man's hands tremble as he hands them to you. Don't leave broken things behind, he mutters, his eyes darting to the path leading into the forest. You smile, unsure how to respond, and slip the new sandals into your bag. Back at the inn, you find Hannah sweeping the porch. She notices your new Zori and nods approvingly, but there's a tension in her posture, like she's waiting for something. You ask about the village's stories, hoping to learn more about the spirits she mentioned. Her broom pauses mid-sweep. Some things are better left alone, she says, her voice low. But if you must know, there's a tale about a woman named Aiko. Long ago she wandered these paths, her Zori broken, her heart heavy with loss. They say her spirit lingers, drawn to those who carry broken things. You laugh nervously, but Hannah's eyes are serious. She tells you Aiko was betrayed by someone she loved, a man who promised her everything and left her with nothing. Her spirit, Hannah says, is restless, seeking those who mirror her pain. You feel a chill, though the sun is high. You think of the broken Zori still in your room, and for a moment you consider throwing it away. But it's just a sandal, you remind yourself. Just a story. That night you can't sleep. The air feels heavier, the fireflies outside dimmer. You hear the shuffle again, closer this time, like someone pacing just beyond the sliding doors. You sit up, your breath shallow, and call out softly. No answer. The hum returns, clearer now, a melody that feels both sad and accusing. You slide the door open, peering into the garden. Nothing but shadows and the faint glow of fireflies. Yet, as you turn back, you freeze. Your broken Zori, the one you left, by the door, is now at the foot of your futon, its torn strap glistening as if wet. Your heart races, but you tell yourself it's a coincidence. Maybe Hana moved it while cleaning. Maybe you're overtired. You shove the sandal under the futon and lie back down, willing your eyes to close. The hum grows softer, fading into the night, but sleep doesn't come easily. You feel watched, as if the room itself is holding its breath, waiting for what you'll do next. You wake to the soft patter of rain against the inn's tiled roof. The air is cool, carrying the scent of wet earth through the open window. Your eyes dart to the foot of the futon, half expecting to see the broken Zori again, but it's still tucked beneath, out of sight. You exhale, trying to shake off the unease from last night. The hum, the shuffle, the sandal's strange appearance, it's all just your imagination, stirred by Hannah's story. You're here to relax, not to chase ghosts. You slip on your new Zori, their woven straps snug against your feet, and head out to explore more of the village. The rain has softened to a mist, cloaking the narrow paths in a dreamlike haze. You pass a small shrine, its red torii gate half hidden by moss. An offering of rice and sake sits on a stone, untouched. You pause, wondering who left it. The air feels heavy here, like it's pressing against your skin, urging you to move on. You do, but not before noticing a single broken Zori sandal lying in the grass, its strap frayed like the one you left behind. Shaking your head, you continue toward the village center. A small tea house catches your eye, its wooden sign swaying in the breeze. Inside, the air is warm, scented with green tea and charcoal. You sit at a low table, and a young man named Taro serves you. He's friendly, his smile easy, his eyes bright. With curiosity, you ask about the village, hoping to learn more about Aiko's story without sounding too invested. Taro leans in, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. They say Aiko was beautiful, he begins, wiping a cup with a cloth. But her heart was broken long before her Zori. She loved a man, Kenji, who promised to marry her. He was charming, wealthy, the kind of man who could make you believe anything. But he left her for another, someone with a better dowry. Aiko wandered the forest paths, her Zori breaking as she walked, her tears mixing with the rain. Some say she never left those paths, even after ... He trails off, glancing at the window. You press him gently, asking what happened to her. Taro hesitates, then shrugs. No one knows for sure. Some say she drowned in the river, others say she just vanished. But her spirit's still here, drawn to broken things, broken promises. If you hear a hum at night, it's her, singing her sorrow. You nod, your thoughts drifting to the melody you heard last night. It's just a coincidence, you tell yourself, but your fingers tighten around your teacup. Taro changes the subject, asking about your stay at the inn. You mentioned the broken zari and how it appeared at your futon. His smile falters, and he sets the cup down a little too hard. You should get rid of it, he says, his voice low. Spirits like Aiko, they cling to things like that. They see it as an invitation. You laugh, trying to lighten the mood, but Taro's eyes are serious, almost pleading. You leave the tea house, the mist thicker now, curling around your ankles like a living thing. The new Zori feel heavy, as if they're carrying more than just your weight. You decide to return to the inn, but as you pass the shrine again, you stop. The broken sandal is gone, the grass undisturbed, as if it was never there. Your pulse quickens and you walk faster, the village suddenly feeling smaller, the paths narrower. Back at the inn, Hannah is folding linens in the common room. She glances at your new Zori, then at your face, as if reading your thoughts. You ask her about the shrine, about the broken sandal you saw. Her hands pause, and she looks at you with something like pity. The spirits leave signs, she says softly. They test you to see if you're listening. You want to ask more, but she turns away, her movements brisk, as if closing the conversation. That night, you check the broken Zori under the futon. It's still there, unchanged, but the sight of it makes your skin prickle. You consider throwing it away, but something stops you, a strange reluctance. Like discarding it would mean admitting there's truth to the stories. Instead, you slide it into your bag, out of sight. You lie down, the rain's rhythm lulling you, but sleep is elusive. The air feels charged, like the moment before a storm breaks. Then you hear it again, the shuffle, soft but deliberate, moving across the tatami. Your breath catches and you lie still, listening. The hum follows, clearer now, a melody that tugs at your heart, heavy with longing. You sit up, your eyes scanning the dark. The sliding doors to the garden are closed, but a shadow moves behind them, faint and fleeting, like a figure passing by. You call out, your voice trembling, but the shadow vanishes. The hum fades, leaving only the rain. You don't sleep much that night. The weight of the village, its stories, its shadows, presses against you. You think of Aiko, her broken Zori, her broken heart, and wonder if she's really gone or if she's watching, waiting for you to make a choice. You wake with a start, the rain gone, replaced by a stillness that feels almost too quiet. The morning light filters through the paper screens, soft and gray, but it does little to ease the tightness in your chest. The memory of last night's shadow lingers, its fleeting shape burned into your mind. You check your bag, fingers brushing against the broken Zori still tucked inside. It feels heavier than it should, like it's holding on to something you can't see. You decide to leave it there for now, unwilling to face what throwing it away might mean. You step outside, the new Zori snug on your feet, and breathe in the cool air. The village feels different today, as if it's watching you more closely. You decide to clear your head with a walk, heading toward the forest path Taro mentioned, the one Aiko was said to wander. The trail is narrow, lined with towering cedars that block out much of the sun. Their branches sway gently, whispering in the breeze, and you feel a strange pull, like the path is calling you deeper. As you walk, you notice small details. A stone lantern tipped over, its mossy base cracked. a single petal caught in a spider's web, trembling as if alive. The air grows cooler, and you hear the faint trickle of a river nearby. You follow the sound, curious, and find yourself at a wooden bridge, its planks weathered but sturdy. Below, the river glints like polished glass, its surface unbroken except for the occasional ripple. You lean over the railing, staring into the water, and for a moment you swear you see a face looking back, pale and fleeting, with eyes that hold too much sorrow. You step back, your heart pounding, telling yourself it was just a trick of the light. But the air feels heavier now, pressing against your skin. You turn to leave, but something catches your eye, a single Zori sandal, half buried in the mud by the riverbank, its strap torn. It's not yours, but it's eerily similar, down to the frayed weave. You hesitate, torn between investigating and walking away. The stories of Aiko flood your mind, her broken heart, her endless wandering. You decide to keep moving, but the sandal's image stays with you, sharp and unsettling. Back in the village, you find Taro at the Teahouse, his smile less bright today. You tell him about the river, the face, the sandal, expecting him to laugh it off. Instead, he sets down the teapot and leans closer. You saw her, he says, not a question. Aiko lingers by the river. That's where she was last seen, they say, before she disappeared. If you saw a sandal, it's a sign. She's noticed you. His words send a chill through you, but you press for more. Needing to understand, Taro tells you about Kenji, the man who broke Aiko's heart. He was a merchant's son, charming but fickle, known for making promises he never kept. Aiko believed he would marry her, but when he chose another, she unraveled. She wandered the forest, her Zori breaking as she walked, her grief binding her. To this place. Taro lowers his voice. Some say she waits for someone to share her pain, someone who carries a broken thing, like you with that sandal. You shift uncomfortably, the weight of the Zori in your bag suddenly unbearable. You leave. The tea house, your thoughts swirling. The village feels smaller now, the paths closing in. You pass the shrine again, and this time you stop to leave a small offering, a coin from your pocket, hoping it might appease whatever lingers here. As you turn away, you hear a soft hum, the same melody from the inn, faint but unmistakable. It follows you as you walk, growing louder, then fading, like a voice testing your resolve. At the inn, Hana is tending the garden, her hands gentle as she trims the bonsai. You ask her about the river, about Aiko's story, hoping for reassurance. She straightens, her eyes searching yours. The river holds memories, she says. It shows you what you're ready to see. If you saw her, she's chosen you for a reason. Be careful what you carry. Her words feel like a warning, but she offers no more, turning back to her work. That night, you sit on your futon, the broken Zori in your hands. You trace the frayed strap, wondering why you can't just throw it away. The room feels smaller, the air thick with anticipation. You hear the shuffle again, closer now, like footsteps circling the room. The hum returns, a melody that weaves through your thoughts, pulling at your heart. You slide open the garden doors, hoping fresh air will calm you, but the fireflies are gone tonight, the garden swallowed by darkness. Then you see it, a figure at the edge of the garden, barely visible, her kimono pale against the night. She's still, her head bowed, her hair falling like a curtain. Your breath catches, and you blink, but she's gone. The hum lingers soft and mournful, and you realize it's coming from your bag where the broken Zori sits. You slam the doors shut, your hands trembling, and crawl into the futon, pulling the blanket over your head like a child. Sleep feels impossible, but exhaustion eventually claims you, the hum fading into your dreams. You wake to the scent of cedar and the faint chirping of morning birds. The memory of the figure in the garden clings to you, vivid as a dream you can't shake. You check your bag, half expecting the broken Zori to be gone, but it's still there, its frayed strap curling like a question mark. You shove it deeper inside, telling yourself you'll deal with it later. The air in the room feels lighter today, as if the night's weight has lifted, but your heart still races when you think of that pale kimono, that mournful hum. You decide to distract yourself with the village's charm. The sun is out, painting the rice paddies in shades of gold, and you wander toward a small market near the center. Stalls line the path, offering pickled plums, woven baskets, and tiny charms carved from wood. An elderly woman beckons you over, her fingers nimble as she ties a red string around a charm shaped like a sandal. For protection, she says, pressing it into your hand. Her eyes linger on your bag, as if she knows what's inside. You thank her, slipping the charm into your pocket, its weight oddly comforting Dot as you browse. You overhear whispers among the vendors, their voices low but urgent. They speak of Aiko, of strange happenings by the river, of travelers who saw things they couldn't explain. You catch the words broken Zori and feel a chill, your fingers tightening around the charm. You want to ask more, but the vendors fall silent when you approach, their smiles polite but guarded. You move on, the market's lively hum doing little to ease the knot in your stomach. Dot, you find yourself drawn back to the forest path, as if pulled by an invisible thread. The cedars loom taller today, their shadows stretching long and thin across the dirt. You reach the wooden bridge again, the river below glinting in the sunlight. You lean over the railing, searching the water for that face you saw yesterday, but it's just your own reflection staring back, wavering and uncertain. The air is still, but you feel watched, like the forest itself is holding its breath. Then you hear it, a soft crunch of leaves behind you. You turn, expecting a villager, but no one's there. The path is empty, the cedars silent. Yet the sound comes again, closer now, like footsteps trailing just out of sight. You call out, your voice echoing faintly, but only the river answers with its gentle trickle. Your hand slips into your pocket, clutching the charm, and you start walking back toward the village. Your pace quickening. Dot at the inn, you find Hannah arranging flowers in a vase, her movements slow and deliberate. You tell her about the market, the whispers, the footsteps on the path. She listens quietly, her eyes never leaving the flowers. Aiko's story is old, she says at last, but it's not finished. She lingers because she's searching for something or someone. The broken Zori you carry, it's like a beacon to her. You ask why, your voice barely above a whisper. Hannah's gaze meets yours, sharp and knowing, because it's not just a sandal, it's a promise unkept, a trust broken. She sees herself in it. Her words settle over you like dust, heavy and hard to shake. You return to your room, the charm still in your pocket, the broken Zori still in your bag. You sit on the tatami, staring at the garden through the sliding doors. The fireflies are back tonight, their lights pulsing softly, but they feel distant, like stars you can't reach. You think about Aiko, about Kenji's betrayal, about the weight of promises that linger long after they're broken. Night falls and the inn grows quiet. You lie on your futon, the charm under your pillow, hoping it offers the protection the woman promised. But as the hours pass, the air grows thick again, charged with that familiar anticipation. The shuffle returns, slow and deliberate, moving across the tatami like a dance. You hold your breath, listening, and then the hum begins, soft at first, then growing until it fills the room. It's not just a melody now. It's a voice, clear and aching, singing words you can't quite grasp. You sit up, your heart pounding, and slide open the garden doors. The fireflies scatter, their lights winking out. There, at the edge of the garden, stands the figure again, her kimono pale, her hair falling over her face. She doesn't move, but you feel her gaze, heavy and searching. Your hand grips the charm, and you take a step forward, your voice trembling as you call out, "Aiko?" The figure tilts her head, just slightly, and the hum stops. For a moment, you think she'll speak, but then she steps back, melting into the shadows. You close the doors, your hands shaking, and crawl back to the futon. The charm feels warm under your pillow, but it does little to calm you. The broken Zori in your bag seems to hum with its own quiet energy, and you wonder if you've made a mistake keeping it. Sleep comes in fragments, broken by dreams of a woman in a pale kimono, her eyes filled with a sorrow that feels too familiar, too close. You wake to a morning heavy with fog, the village blurred as if caught in a dream. The charm lies beside your pillow, its red string tangled, and you slip it into your pocket, seeking its small comfort. The broken Zori remains in your bag, a weight you can't ignore, its presence tugging at your thoughts like a tide. Last night's figure, Aiko, feels closer now, her silent gaze lingering in your mind. You tell yourself it's just the village's stories weaving into your imagination, but doubt gnaws at you, sharp and persistent. You decide to seek answers, to understand why Aiko's spirit seems drawn to you. After a quick breakfast of rice and miso, you head to the Teahouse, hoping Taro might know more. The streets are quiet, the fog curling around the houses like a living thing. At the Teahouse, Taro is sweeping the floor, his movements slow, almost reluctant. When he sees you, his eyes widen briefly, as if he senses the questions you carry. You sit at the same low table, the air warm with the scent of tea, and ask about Aiko, about how to appease a spirit like hers. Taro sets the broom aside and joins you, his voice low. "Aiko's not just a ghost," he says, pouring tea into your cup. "She's a wound that never healed. She clings to broken things because they remind her of what she lost. If she's following you, it's because she sees something in you, something unresolved." His words hit closer than you'd like, stirring memories of your own disappointments, promises you made to yourself or others that slipped through your fingers. You ask what you should do, your voice betraying a flicker of fear. He leans closer, his eyes serious. "Take the broken Zori to the river. Leave it there with an offering, something that matters to you. Show her you're letting go." You nod, but the thought of parting with the sandal feels heavier than it should, like giving up a piece of yourself. Taro hesitates, then adds, Be careful. She's gentle, but she's desperate. If you keep the Zori, she'll keep coming. You leave the tea house, the fog thicker now, muffling the world. You decide to visit the shrine again, hoping its quiet sanctity might offer clarity. The red torii gate looms through the mist, and you kneel before the stone altar, the charm in your pocket warm against your fingers. You whisper a prayer, not sure what you're asking for, protection, peace, or simply answers. As you rise, you notice a fresh offering on the altar, a single Zori sandal, its strap intact but stained with river mud. Your breath catches, and you back away, the fog swallowing the shrine behind you. The forest path calls to you again. Its pull stronger now, almost insistent. You follow it to the wooden bridge, the river below shimmering faintly through the mist. You stand at the railing, your bag heavy with the broken Zori. Tara's words echo in your mind. Leave it with an offering, but your hand hesitates over the bag. You think of Aiko, her betrayal, her endless wandering, and wonder if she's trapped by her pain or if she's choosing to stay. Then you hear it, a soft hum, drifting through the fog, the same mournful melody. It's closer now, weaving around. You like a thread. You turn, expecting to see her, but the path is empty, the cedars silent. The hum grows louder, and you feel it tug, not physical, but deep, like something pulling at your heart. You open your bag, your fingers brushing the broken Zori, and for a moment you consider tossing it into the river. But something stops you, a whisper of doubt, a fear of what letting go might mean. You return to the inn, the fog clinging to your skin like damp silk. Hana is there, polishing the wooden banister, her eyes flicking to your bag as you pass. You want to ask her about the river, about the offering, but her silence feels like a wall. Instead, you retreat to your room, the tatami cool under your feet. You sit by the sliding doors, staring at the garden, where the fog has dimmed the fireflies' glow. The charm in your pocket feels heavier now, its promise of protection uncertain. Night falls, and the inn grows still. You lie on your futon, the broken Zori in your bag across the room. The hum returns, softer at first, then swelling until it fills the air. The shuffle follows, slow and deliberate, circling the room like a ritual. You clutch the charm, your pulse racing, and slide open the garden doors. The fog is thick, but you see her again, standing at the garden's edge, her kimono pale, her hair swaying like reeds. She lifts her head, and for a moment her eyes meet yours, dark and endless, filled with a sorrow that feels like your own. You whisper her name, Aiko, and she steps closer, her movements silent, her gaze never leaving. You. The hum is a song now, its words clearer, a plea for release, for understanding. You want to speak, to ask what she needs, but fear locks your voice. She reaches out, her hand hovering near your bag, then fades into the fog, leaving only the behind. You close the doors, your hands trembling, and lie down, the charm pressed against your chest. Sleep comes slowly, haunted by her eyes, her song, and the weight of the Zori you can't let go. You wake to a morning soft with sunlight, the fog gone, leaving the village sharp and clear. The charm rests in your hand, its red string warm from your grip, but it feels fragile now, like a promise stretched thin. You glance at your bag where the broken Zori lies hidden, its weight a constant pull on your thoughts. Aiko's presence last night, her eyes meeting yours, feels like a question you're not ready to answer. You want to let go, to follow Taro's advice and leave the sandal at the river. But something holds you back, a tangle of curiosity and fear. You decide to seek out someone new, someone who might know more about Aiko's story. After a quick breakfast, you head to the village's edge, where an old temple sits nestled among pines. Its wooden gate is weathered, carved with faded symbols, and a stone path leads to a small hall where candles flicker in the dim light. You find a priest there, an elderly man named Kato, his robes simple, his eyes kind but sharp. You tell him about the Zori, the hum, the figure in the garden, keeping your voice steady despite the unease curling in your chest. Kato listens, his hands folded, his gaze never wavering. Aiko's spirit is bound by her grief, he says softly. She clings to broken things because they mirror her heart. The Zori you carry, it's more than a sandal to her. It's a symbol of what was taken, a promise unfulfilled. You ask if leaving it at the river will free her, as Taro suggested. Kato shakes his head. It's not just about the sandal. You must offer something of yourself, something that carries your own pain. Only then might she find peace. His words stir something deep, a memory of your own losses, promises you made to yourself that crumbled under life's weight. You thank him, your mind heavy, and leave the temple, the charm in your pocket a small anchor. The village feels quieter today, the air still, as if waiting for your next move. You wander back toward the market, hoping its bustle will distract you, but your thoughts keep drifting to the river, to Aiko's eyes, to the Zori and your bag dot at the market. You spot the elderly woman who sold you the charm. She's tying another, her fingers deft despite her age. You approach, asking if she knows more about Aiko. Her hands pause, and she looks at you with a mix of pity and caution. You're still carrying it, aren't you? She says, her voice low. The broken Zori, it's calling her to you. If you want her to leave, you must let go, not just of the sandal, but of what it means to you. You frown, unsure what she means, but she turns away, her attention back on her charms. Head toward the forest path, drawn to the river again, its pull stronger than ever. The cedars cast long shadows, and the air grows cooler as you near the wooden bridge. You stand at the railing, the river below calm and clear, its surface reflecting the sky. You open your bag, pulling out the broken Zori, its frayed strap rough against your fingers. You think of Kato's words about offering something of yourself. You reach into your pocket, pulling out a small locket, a keepsake from someone you once loved, someone who left you with promises unkept. It's heavy, with memory and your system. Oh, it looks like my response got cut off. Let me pick up where I left off and complete Chapter 6 for you. Section 6 continued. You stand at the railing, the river below calm and clear, its surface reflecting the sky. You open your bag, pulling out the broken Zori, its frayed strap rough against your fingers. You think of Kento's words about offering something of yourself. You reach into your pocket, pulling out a small locket, a keepsake from someone you once loved, someone who left you with promises unkept. It's heavy with memory, and your hand trembles as you hold it alongside the Zori. The idea of letting it go feels like cutting a thread to your past, but Aiko's sorrow, her endless searching, feels like a mirror to your own unspoken grief. You kneel by the riverbank, the mud cool against your knees, and place the Zori gently on the ground. Beside it, you set the locket, its silver surface catching the light. You whisper a few words, not a prayer, but a wish for Aiko to find peace, for you to find release from the weight you've carried. The river's gentle flow seems to listen, its ripples soft and steady. You stand feeling lighter, though a quiet ache remains, and turn back toward the village, the charm still in your pocket, its warmth a faint reassurance. Back at the inn, Hannah is waiting on the porch, her eyes scanning you as you approach. She notices the absence of the Zori in your bag, and her expression softens, though she says nothing. You feel a shift, like the air has grown lighter, but you're not sure if it's real or just your hope. You ask her if you did the right thing, leaving the Zori and the locket. She tilts her head, her voice gentle. You gave her what she needed, a piece of your heart. That's enough for now. Her words are vague, but they settle over you like a warm blanket, easing the tension in your chest. That night, you lie on your futon, the garden outside quiet, the fireflies glowing faintly through the sliding doors. The air feels different, less heavy, as if the inn itself is breathing easier. You wait for the shuffle, the hum, the shadow of Aiko's figure, but the night is silent, save for the soft chirping of crickets. You clutch the charm under your pillow, its red string a lifeline, and wonder if your offering was enough. If Aiko felt the weight of your shared pain. As you drift toward sleep, you hear a faint sound, not the hum, but a breeze, gentle and warm, carrying the scent of cedar and river water. It feels like a goodbye, or perhaps a thank you, and you let it wrap around you, soft and fleeting. Your eyes grow heavy, and for the first time in nights, sleep feels close, unburdened by shadows. But in the quiet, you can't help wondering if Aiko is truly at rest, or if her story, like yours, is still unfolding. You wake to a morning bright with promise, the sunlight streaming through the paper screens, painting the tatami in golden patches. The charm rests in your hand, its red string slightly frayed, but still warm, a quiet reminder of the village's mysteries. Your bag feels lighter without the broken Zori, and the absence of the locket leaves a hollow ache, but also a strange relief. You think of the river of Aiko's sorrow, and wonder if your offering reached her, if it loosened the ties binding her to this place. You decide to spend the day exploring the village one last time, your departure looming tomorrow. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of blooming jasmine, and the paths feel wider, less oppressive. You pass the market, where the elderly woman nods at you, her eyes knowing, as if she senses the choice you made. You smile back, the charm in your pocket a small tether to her kindness. The village feels alive today, children laughing as they chase each other, vendors calling out their wares, yet you can't shake the feeling that something lingers, watching. From the edges, you find yourself drawn to the forest path again, not to the river, but to a small clearing you hadn't noticed before. It's tucked between cedars, a circle of soft grass ringed by wildflowers, their petals swaying in the breeze. In the center stands a stone marker, weathered and moss-covered, its carvings faded but faintly readable. A name, Aiko, etched with care. Your breath catches, and you kneel, tracing the letters with your fingers. The air feels warm here, almost tender, as if the clearing holds a piece of her spirit, not in sorrow but in peace. You sit for a while, the charm in your hand. Whisper a few words, not for Aiko but for yourself. I wish to let go of the weight you've carried, the promises you couldn't keep. The breeze stirs, carrying a faint hum, not mournful but soft, like a lullaby. It's different from before, lighter, as if Aiko is singing a new song, one of release. You smile, feeling a connection to this place, to her story, and stand, ready. To return to the inn. At the Teahouse, Taro greets you with a grin, his usual warmth back in full force. You tell him about the river, the offering, the clearing, keeping your voice calm, despite the emotions swirling inside. He listens, his eyes bright with something like pride. You did well, he says, pouring you tea. Aiko needed someone to see her, to share her pain. Not everyone would have done that. You ask if she's gone now, if the offering was enough. Taro shrugs, his smile wistful. Spirits like her, they don't always leave, but you gave her a chance to rest. That's more than most. Back at the inn, Hannah is sweeping the porch, her movements slow and rhythmic. She glances at you, her eyes softer than before, and asks how you're feeling. You tell her about the clearing, the marker, the hum that felt like a goodbye. She nods, setting the broom aside. Aiko's story is part of this village, she says. You honored it by listening, by giving something of yourself. That matters. Her words feel like a blessing, and you thank her, your heart lighter than it's been in days. Night falls, and you sit by the sliding doors, the garden glowing with fireflies, their lights dancing like tiny stars. The air is calm, the inn quiet, and you wait, half expecting the shuffle. They hum, the shadow of Aiko's figure. But the night remains still, the only sound the soft rustle of leaves. You hold the charm, its warmth steady, and lie on your futon, the weight of the village's stories settling around you, not heavy but gentle, like a hand guiding you to sleep. As you drift off, you see her in your mind, not as a pale figure, but as a woman, her kimono bright, her smile free of sorrow. The image fades, replaced by the soft glow of fireflies, and you feel a quiet certainty that Aiko has found some peace, that your offering reached her in ways you may never fully understand. Sleep comes easily, wrapping you in its embrace. Village's secrets now a part of you, soft and enduring. You wake to the gentle chime of a temple bell, its distant ring carrying through the morning air. The sunlight spills across your futon, warm and golden, and you feel a quiet stillness, as if the village has exhaled its secrets. The charm rests in your hand, its red string soft against your skin, a final tether to this place. Your bag is lighter without the broken zori, and the absence of the locket lingers like a faint bruise, but you feel unburdened, ready to leave the village behind. Yet Aiko's story, her presence, clings to you, soft as a whisper, urging you to take one last step. Before you go, you pack your things, the inn's wooden walls creaking, as if bidding you farewell. Hannah meets you at the door, her smile warm, her eyes holding a quiet gratitude. You thank her for her hospitality, for her cryptic warnings that guided you through the village's mysteries. She nods, her voice soft. You listen to her. She says not everyone does. Take that with you when you leave. Her words settle in your heart and you step outside, the new zori snug on your feet, the charm tucked safely in your pocket. you decide to visit the clearing one last time, drawn to the stone marker etched with Aiko's name. The forest path is bright today, the cedars parting to let sunlight dapple the ground. The clearing feels different, alive with the hum of insects and the scent of wildflowers. You kneel by the marker, its mossy surface cool under your fingers, and place a single flower from the path beside it, a small offering of thanks. The air stirs warm and gentle, and you hear a faint hum, not mournful but joyful, like a song carried on the wind. You smile, feeling her presence, not as a weight but as a lightness, a spirit at peace. As you leave the clearing, you pass the wooden bridge, the river sparkling below. You pause, looking into the water, half expecting to see Aiko's face, but it's just your reflection, clearer now, unshadowed. You think of the locket, the broken zori, the pieces of yourself you left behind, and realize they were offerings not just for Aiko but for you, a way to let go of your own unspoken grief. The river seems to nod, its ripples carrying your thoughts away, and you walk on, the village calling you back one last time. At the tea house, Taro is waiting, his grin wide as he hands you a cup of tea for the road. You tell him about the clearing, the flower, the hum that felt like a farewell. He laughs softly, his eyes bright. You gave her what she needed, he says, and maybe she gave you something too. You nod, sipping the tea, its warmth spreading through you. You ask if Aiko will linger here, if others will see her. Taro shrugs, his smile wistful. This village holds its stories close. She'll stay until someone else needs her. You return to the inn to gather your things, the village bustling now with morning life. The elderly woman from the market waves as you pass, her hands busy with another charm. You touch the one in your pocket, its weight a reminder of the connection. You forge with this place, with Aiko's story. The train station waits at the edge of the village, its platform quiet under the midday sun. You board the train, the charm in your hand, and as the village fades into the distance, you feel a quiet certainty that Aiko's song has found its end, at least for you. Night falls as the train hums along, the world outside a blur of shadows and lights. You close your eyes, the charm pressed against your palm, and see her again in your mind, not as a pale figure, but as a woman free of sorrow, her kimono bright, her smile soft. The hum returns, faint and fleeting, a final note of thanks. You drift toward sleep, the rhythm of the train lulling you, the village's secrets now a part of you, gentle and enduring. Some stories stay with us long after the words fade. Let this one rest beside you. Sleep deeply, and if it returns in your dreams, perhaps it was never truly gone.